Hey guys, what's going on? So this video is going to be about a lot of things, as most of my videos have basically been becoming. This is a video about my max legendary number 14. If you've been counting, the season recently just reset, and so all of my magic orbs reset, and so I'm going to be able to max out a summoner. That's eventually what's going to happen. I just thought I'd talk about something else first. I don't have 500 gems, and so I thought that I would take this opportunity to say that if you wanted to buy anything in the game that's not a legendary unit, I will get into that. The best offer, the actual buy profitably offer in this game in order to buy, there's a hierarchy of things that I would recommend buying. One is obviously the season pass, because everything that you're getting in the season pass is worth it. I think that buying into events now is pretty worth it, because not only are you getting a magic orb, which is very highly sought after, but now that they took away epic units out of expeditions, or epic heroes out of expedition, this is going to give you a large quantity of epic heroes. So that is also a positive now for this. And then 180 event tokens is going to go a long way to getting event units, which are the best units in this game. If you're not farming a Phoenix, which is the best unit in this game, because you know that whenever they release a next DPS unit, that unit is going to definitely be better than Phoenix, then you should be farming Gunslinger, and then you should be farming Kobold, because those are the best support units. And that it was very smart of them to do that, because those being the best support units, that are being slotted in literally just every deck, is something that everybody will want, even if you're not chasing the best unit. But I found myself without 500 gems. 500 gems, the only two things that I would ever recommend spending gems on, this is a very high money talk video, but the only thing that I would ever spend money, 500 gems on, are refreshes every single season. So you have the ability to exchange 5, and then you can, for 100, exchange 5 more. So that's 500. And I would highly recommend that you spend 500 gems every single season in order to get 10 orbs per season just through Magic Lab. You need so many orbs in this game, so that is getting an extra 5 every single month is going to be huge over the course of a year, and then the only other thing that you should be spending gems on is if you beat Random League. If you are going to play Random League, I would highly recommend you play it day 1, hour 1, because you will be paired against very low level players. If you decide to wait, and over the course of, the 2 days that it goes for, the people that are lower will have already been kicked out of Random League, because they will not have any more tries, and then you will be going up against much harder players. If you start at the time that everybody starts at, your first 4 or 5 wins will basically be super easy if you even have a somewhat competent deck. And so buying 500 or using 500 gems for that is the only other reason why you should be spending gems in this game. The reason why I don't have gems is because every so often I get a little antsy with my events, and I'll spend double 30 gems in order to just play another game. And so I think I've been doing that a lot, and that's why I don't have 500 gems. But because I said that this was kind of a money stream, a money talk stream, one of the other the actual buy profitably offer that I would only recommend, this is the only thing that I would ever recommend, is the double gem offers. These don't come around very often, but they do. And if you didn't know, If you didn't, you can only basically use these once. They have refreshed once, and so that's why my $50 and my $100 are refreshed. but these double gem offers, or if you haven't bought into these, you get a double gem offer. So for $1 you'll get 60, for $5 you'll get 400. That amount, that double gem offer, is the only time I would ever recommend buying gems. If you only get 1,000 gems for $20, I would not recommend it. But when they do a double gem offer, which is every so often, you have the ability to buy it again, quote unquote, again, right? Because if I wanted gems, the best way to do it would be the $50 and the $100, which obviously is a lot. And then they just happen to give me exactly what I wanted. Now, when I say that you should buy this, you can also double dip into buying this. What I mean by that is, if you go to the My Game store, and I know that this is something that they promote, but I'm going to explain to you how this is the best option. If you're going to spend the money anyway, this is the best way to do it. If you spend the same $20 to get 200 platinum, you will get plus 20 platinum just for doing it like this. It'll still cost you the same $20. You will still get 200 platinum, but you will get plus 20 platinum just because. So the 20 platinum is equivalent, or the 200 platinum that you're getting for your $20 is equivalent to the $20 that you would be spending here, but you just get plus 20 for free. And so over the course of time, if you continue to do this, you will eventually just get free money. And that's pretty cool. So I'm going to do that here. And get 2,000 gems. That will allow me to do the rest of my exchanges. That will also set me up for the 500 gems that I need for Random League. So I just thought that I would do that and explain to you why My Games always wants, or why Rush Royale always wants you to buy it from their store. It is a better buy. You're just getting more for no reason. I'm not even sure what I'm going to sacrifice here, because I don't really have a lot of extra things. I think I can sacrifice a singular... I think I only need 19 to max out a Harlequin. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to max out this summoner. And then I'm going to talk about my next topic. Bloop. Bam. This would be max legendary unit number 14. The idea that I have 14 max legendary units, I mean, obviously non-reincarnated, but 14 max legendary units, and I still need so many, is insane. The fact that they have brought out this many legendary units, and there are so many things that I don't have maxed, is... I mean, like, there are so many other units, like 14 having, like, some people, like, don't even think that they'll ever max out one unit. And the fact that I have 14 and I still feel like I need so many more, it feels crazy. This is the last thing that I'll talk about, and it's going to be the future of my channel. And what I want to do with my channel and what I want to do with my account. I've stated this in a couple of other videos. If you might have watched it, I stated this up front during my last live stream that I did, but for the interest of only having to say this once and making a full dedicated video about it, I'll say it here. So co-op, when co-op was introduced, and they came out with Endless Floor, and they came out with the leaderboard, it was a very blatant slap in my face, or a slap to the face, or shock to the system, as it were, that the people that were ruling this mode are specifically people that are running meteor decks, and everybody that's not running a meteor deck, you're basically getting like 10 to 12 minutes of time. You could say that like, oh, I have a Phoenix deck and, I'm getting 14 minutes, right? But for the most part, most people are getting, as soon as 10 minutes hits and, like a 1 trillion boss health monster comes out, like most decks can't deal with that. The Meteor deck, and it uses Meteor and like a combination of Meteor and Bruiser. The Meteor deck, getting an hour and 40 minutes basically makes Endless Floor co-op basically useless. If you don't have the Meteor deck, you're just not going to get a good enough time. And I suppose you could have said that about, like back then and co-op back then when, a percentage damage deck would get like, wave 5,000 or whatever, and your regular Zealot deck would get to wave 100, right? You could say that about that as well. But this brought up something, it just like it metaphored something else that I had already been really thinking about within this game. And that is the entire idea of PvP. If you don't have a legendary hero, at a certain point in this game, increasing your crit, maxing out more units, it doesn't matter. At a certain point, it just straight up doesn't matter. I am at 5,663% crit. Like I said, I just maxed out my 14th unit, right? I already have maxed out decks. That summoner that I just maxed out, I'm not really going to put it in any of my maxed out decks. It gave me a percentage boost, sure, but it's not technically doing anything because my deck is already maxed out. Like, this is the best version of this deck. I don't have a Phoenix, and so I'm just straight up not going to be able to beat a Phoenix deck with anything. The only way to push my account further is not upgrading units, it's upgrading legendary heroes. I would do so much better with a legendary hero. I would go so much further in time. I'm basically getting like 530. In a good game, like a good average game for me is like 530. The best game I've ever done is like a 630 Banshee game. But for the most part, like 530 is pretty strong. It's a pretty good amount of time. The only thing that would push that into 7-minute territory would be a legendary hero using this exact same deck, but having a level 80 Fortuna, having a level 80 Zeus, right? Doing the exact same thing, having this exact same deck, upgrading no other units, but just just having a better hero, legendary hero, right? That would push my deck and my, account into the like 7-minute area. A legendary hero on a good day is about $2,000. To max out a legendary hero from 1 to 100 is around $2,000, and that's doing it the smart way, which is through expeditions, through buying 150 fragments into the seasonal offers. It's doing it this way. Buying this 3 times. And if you did that, you would have to spend about $2,000. This is the most efficient way, by the way, money-wise, and maybe not time-wise, because this rotates once per month. But you would have to buy this a lot of times at the maximum 150, to get the 3 offers, to get 30 units every cycle, right? And it would still cost you like $2,000. It would cost you about $1,000 to get it to level 60, I believe. Not to level 80, so you wouldn't have the second win, but you would get it to level 60, so that if you were upgrading a Zeus, you would get the Divine Intervention, the tile. You would get the level up tiles. You'd still die to a level 80 because a level 80 would have second wind. You'd also die to a level 100 because a level 100 would give you all the extra bonuses that they've added from 80 to 100. But that would also cost you another $1,000 after you've already spent $1,000. I have no plan on doing that. And because I don't have any plans on doing that, this game has become very the same. If there's no way for me to push my account any further other than a legendary hero, there was a big part of me that was like, well, then what's the point? You know, like if you don't have a meteor deck in Endless Floor co-op, what's the point in playing anything if you're going to get 12 minutes every single game? There's an inevitability. There's like a sameness. There's like the idea that you know where you're going to end. I know that every single game, at best, I'm going to get a 6-minute and 30-second game, and I will just die to people that can get 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. This is all pre 29.1 patch, right? I'm talking about Death Wave PvP right now. But what I'm saying is I will always have the same amount of damage no matter what. And other people that have other things will always outdamage me. People that have, max legendary heroes will always outdamage me. People that are always chasing the newest best unit, like a Phoenix, will always outdamage me. And so even if I had a Phoenix, I would still die to people who had legendary heroes. And that's my point. And so there was a part of me that wondered, what should I do with my account? And I want to bring up a YouTube comment, and I'll be 1 second. So I rarely bring up like positive YouTube comments that I get because it's obviously so easy to just like harp on negative comments. But this comment made me rethink, like with everything that I had already been thinking about Endless Wave co-op and my account and upgrading units. This comment like changed something within me. And I was like, it gave me new purpose for what I want to do with my channel. So this was on a video where I said, it's my Banshee. I did a really cool Banshee video. I accidentally had it in landscape mode as opposed to portrait. And so the video was really bad, but it was such a good video that I didn't want to record it again. And so hopefully it just, it just kind of works. And it was just like a one-off thing. But this person decided to write, and he said, I don't play Banshee at all, but I appreciate these videos. I don't know if it's because the game has been out for so long or because it's dying, but no one makes in-depth guides on how to play certain decks like this. I have a real problem with, just for myself, obviously, other people don't have problems with this. I have a real problem with most content creators just posting gameplay video. It just posting a game and then no commentary, no explanation for what's happening. Just here's a game. That's it. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I don't think that contributes anything. And I also think it's incredibly lazy because all you technically need to do is just go into Rush Royale, go into replays, replay a battle, call it a day. It's the laziest form of content. It doesn't show anything. And so whenever I do gameplay video, I talk about why I'm even posting it in the first place, what I'm doing, why I think that you should listen to this. And so in this, I'm going to read this at length. I know you can obviously read it yourself, but I'm going to read this at length and maybe give commentary in between. I can only speak about English YouTube content creators, but they have almost always only done the bare minimum when it comes to making content for this game, posting just gameplay video with no commentary as to what's happening in the game or why they're posting it. The game is infinitely bigger in both Russian and Spanish, and it's much bigger on Twitch. So while it may seem like this game is dying because of English YouTube presence, it's not. I know that the A-Friend Gaming of the world and the Godlike Mike of the world would suggest that this game is dying, because A-Friend Gaming doesn't really post anymore. Godlike Mike is like the one English YouTube content creator. Polo Tries Hard doesn't post anymore. Manti doesn't post anymore. Rush Royale Tips and Tricks deleted his account. and you would think, Games by the Beach doesn't do content anymore. There's so many like English YouTubers that don't really do content. But if you look up other languages, look up No Controle on the Spanish front, and look up Aleppo on the Russian front. Look at their amount of views. They have large quantities of views, and there are so many there are so many content creators that are specifically Twitch streamers that also have large quantities of following. You might think that because you speak English and you don't see a lot of English people doing content, that this game is dead or this game is dying, or, oh my God, magic orbs came into this game and, everybody's going to leave this game. It's not true. I thought that for a little while, and then I realized that, yeah, Aleppo gets thousands of views every single time he posts a video. What's his name? No Controle has thousands of views. Technically, Momo Royale still has thousands of views, or hundreds upon hundreds of views. Maybe the game is not what it was at some certain point in your life, but make no mistake, this game is not dying. There is still a wealth of people in other languages that still want content for this game. And the fact that I still have as many subscribers as I do is kind of crazy. With that aside, I think it's because when you make an in-depth guide about a unit, you tend to only really make the one video. I happen to like the discovery. I like playing things bad and saying, this is a cool unit, use this. Then discovering something much better and saying, actually, this is much better. Then discovering something else and being like, actually, I don't know why I didn't think about this before. Learning a deck by playing it over and over and discovering subtle things that normal people wouldn't think about prevent games from just being X DPS unit, Night Statue, Scrapper, Trapper, Gunslinger, basic. In this, I basically I self-deprecated myself, and I basically undermined the idea of this video about the fact that I did a video about how to play Banshee, and I was just like, yeah, that's just I kind of like doing this. And it's nothing, it's fine, it's whatever, right? But I think that this is what I want my channel to become. I think I want to upgrade units, not because I'm trying to chase the meta, not because I'm trying to, be the best, right? I'm not trying to, have a legendary hero. I'm not trying to beat everybody. I'm not trying to win every game. I recently did a live stream where I almost lost every single game. I think I want to upgrade units specifically so that I can showcase how to use units. And I think about it like this. When you have Sentry, when you start the game and you're using Sentry, right? And then all of a sudden you get a Boreas. And then all of a sudden you just never want to use Sentry ever again, right? Because that's how it works. You only want one DPS unit ever. So, when you get a Sentry, and it's your best DPS unit because it attacks so fast and it increases over time, right? And it has talents, right? But then all of a sudden you get a Boreas. Well, then you never need to use Sentry ever again. You can just use Boreas. And then once you get a Blade Dancer, you never want to use Boreas ever again, right? So what is the actual purpose of upgrading a Boreas? Nothing. Because you're never going to use it. You upgrade it for the crit. And that's why you upgrade all of your commons, epics, and rares. Not because you're going to use it, but because of that crit percentage. Everybody tells you, upgrade your crit. You're gonna, you need to upgrade your crit because you'll do more damage. And so you upgrade your units to do more damage. What I'm telling you about my account is that 5,663% crit, adding 5% to that, adding 1,000% to that is not gonna do anything for my games, because I'm at the point where the only thing that will do anything for my games is just a legendary hero. if I have a Blade Dancer deck and I have 6,663% crit, and I'm going up against a person with a Genie level 100 Fortuna deck, I'm not going to beat it because I have 1,000 more crit than I currently have. If I had a if I had a Blade Dancer deck and I had a level 100 Fortuna, I might have a chance against that Genie deck. But having 1,000 more crit, I could even be at 1,000 crit less. I could even be 1,000 crit less than the Genie player with the level 100 Fortuna, and I would have a better shot at doing it, at beating that person, if I had a level 100 Fortuna as well. That's the only thing that's going to push my account. And because I'm not willing to spend thousands of dollars on legendary heroes, I think my account is going to now transform into, I want to upgrade units simply to just use them. I want to upgrade this monk to 15, which I have the amount for. And there's no reason for me to upgrade a monk. Like my Blade Dancer deck is better than a monk deck could be. But I want to upgrade this monk so that I can make guides about how to play monk. I want to upgrade a bruiser so that I can make guides about how to play bruiser. And then, that'll be my, my thing for a couple weeks. I've made guides for all of the things that I play all the time. Mostly Forest Faction, because like I've always said, I'm a Forest Faction main. I've made so many videos about Blade Dancer. I've made so many videos about Spirit Master. I've made so many videos about Treant. And then now I've just started making videos about Banshee, because now I play Banshee. And I think I want to do this for just slowly, of course. But this is what I want for the future of my channel. I want to talk about the game. I want to talk about updates. I want to talk about things like that. But in terms of gameplay, I think the gameplay that I want to do is, because I'm upgrading cards that I don't care about anymore. Like, what is Minotaur DPS? What is Sea Dog Toxic? Does Sea Dog Toxic even work? I think that is why I want to upgrade my account. Tesla. Just things that I would never use. Corsair whenever it gets talents. Bard. I'm technically trying to upgrade a Genie. Wherever it is. I am technically trying to upgrade a Genie. But I think that's what I want the future of my account to be. It's gonna be a mix of me upgrading units that are not gonna push damage, that are not gonna be better than the best unit. But I want to be able to showcase different strategies and discover how people play Bruiser. Like, what are the nuances of a Bruiser deck? What are the nuances of a Cultist deck? What is the strategy of playing Cultists? Because I think every deck that you look at kind of looks the same, but what I find all the time is that there are specific ways to play a deck. And I'm kind of here to figure those out myself. Not with somebody telling me, but just maxing out a unit, being really excited about maxing out that unit, and then just playing it over and over and over and figuring out weird strategies, weird nuances that most people either don't talk about, they just show you gameplay and they don't really talk about why they did whatever they did. And so most of the time you'll never even notice that it was even a decision. I'll catch you guys next video.